wait for me. That was the most explicit breaking of the rule I've ever seen in my life. Nay, nay, says the albatross. There will be none of this.
Such a panicked penis.
Penis?
Goodness.
Did I say it?
Did I say
Did I
it?
do it right?
Did I do it right? It's just like, oh, I wanted to say it, but it was so lewd.
Penis! Alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nat19 Devils Might Surrender, Session 3. We are now into what would, if this were a video game, be considered to be Mission 2. And, quick recap from Aaron. What happened last time?
We went to like a thing, and there were some guys, and they were like, kapow, bam, kaboom, and we're like, nah, heck you, and then the ceiling was like, and we're like, oh no, but then Gino was like, no, fuck that shit, and he fucking like chainsaw bladed the ceiling with his sword and stuff, and then the robo motherfuckers like, I'm gonna shoot you, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't, but they did, and then bees, well, not bees, but there was hives, and there were hands, there were fist hand bees, and we killed them, but they killed me, but then they actually killed Gino, and we got a gun.
Good, you did it. I don't know what to say to that. Congratulations. As we come back in, you guys will have the floor. As Gino Angelo, you find your vision coming to. Everything is a bit blurry, and as blurry as it can be for you, with your not having eyes. As your demon senses refocus.
The lights flicker on.
As you do this, you see the various lights that line the giant doorway that had opened for you guys, once again begin to move and begin scanning up and down you, flashing from yellow to green as they do.
Okay.
Gino, get up.
Okay.
Oh no, he's broken.
I'm fine. Let's sit up.
You're right there.
Ah, that didn't
Ow,
hurt,
my
but
hand.
You're right there, big guy.
I think so. You can
Alright.
try to stand up. Looks
So
around.
quite the fall there.
Yeah. I guess we did it. On the
Marty lay up.
You're all welcome.
You did really, really good, Emmanuel. Are you okay?
Have to
Yeah,
turn you up
are you
there,
okay?
Fiona.
I feel better now.
No.
About
help.
5 seconds ago, I felt horrible though.
That's fair. I thought you were gonna die.
If there were any less of us, then perhaps we would have lost someone. Looking at Mari Lane, going,
Is everyone all right now, though?
She's still unconscious. All right, little bro, can you carry her?
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
All right.
are any of those other metal guys? Are they in a million pieces? Looking around, does it
you
look
go to
like?
pick her up. He looks over. He looks as if he wants to do it, but then he's like, "No, I'll take point. Thank you.
Yep.
You're gonna take charge heading towards that fucking portal there?
If that's where we're going to go,
Did you
there's
want
not
to
a lot
look
more
at
places we can go to.
the small Genos?
Before I go and pick up Marley, I'd like to go over to one.
Alrighty, you would have to hop down off the main platform, because that's where you were. You guys were on that elevated. As you hop off, there are two bodies of them. One is... I think that one of them actually landed where you are, on the platform, actually, because I remember that,
Oh,
heckin' Arden
was chucked
flung
up
it
there.
that way.
Yeah.
Right. that
Yeah.
is-
Yeah, flung it.
I would like to break it open and look inside.
You try to punch it, you find you stagger slightly when you do, and as you hit it to try to break it open, you lose balance a little bit, and your hand just kind of grazes along the bark-like metal that is on the surface of it.
Alright, I whip out my greatsword and I'm gonna try to cut it open.
Roll me.
I whip out my sword!
Roll me an attack roll.
Okay.
You do.
There we go.
You swing it downwards and you hit it. It cracks open the front of it. As you look inside, you see a... you hear a strange, like, almost decompression sound whenever you break it open, as if there'd been some air or energy or whatnot that had been compressed inside of it. But as you break it open, you find there's just an empty cavity with more... You can tell the armor's very thick enough that wearing it would probably be cumbersome. But it is hollow, like a suit of armor.
Get him, Gino. Crack him open like an angel lobster.
Nothing in here. Okay. That's all I wanted. He's gonna go over to Marley and he's gonna pick her up. Guess we should get moving?
We could try to get up to the surface, but since this is the thing in the center of the city, I doubt that would allow us to go very far. The only place to go is through here.
Plus, if the surface is like we saw before, then we're gonna have to live as like mole people.
We still
I mean,
need to
it's
get our
not
way
so
to
bad.
the outside of it.
Well, if this thing has demons coming from the demon world to the human world, we could maybe get up top through this if the demons are coming out up top.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know much about that, but it seems the only place to go. Unless we want to try to make our way back the way we came, which we saw everything had happened that way.
I think we might as well.
Let's go forward then.
I'll take point with you if that's okay.
As you guys are about to enter into it, you hear Marile begin to cough and sputter back to life.
Marile!
Oh, there she
You're
is.
alive!
Dios mío, ¿qué pasó? ¿Dónde? Who's carrying me?
Gino.
I am. Yeah.
Me. You're not Nicolo.
No.
He knows.
What?
¿Dónde está Nicolo? Oh, there he is.
All right. Well, you're good. Here you go. He's just gonna let her down.
Well, fine, I guess.
So we have this gun thingy,
Right.
and I'd be down to use it because I really like guns, and it's.
I thought you were all about, like, swords or whatever.
But I was about to say, but I also.
You can like two things at once, or more than
That's
one.
fair.
thing.
It's fair. It's just never, I don't know. You say more of a sword gal, but you know what? If you want the gun, I've got no objections. The only one
I
I'd,
want-
you know,
From what I've
debate
seen going
whether
through
having
here,
it or not.
From what I've
The
seen
more
going
the
through here,
merrier.
you have very good eyes for these kind of things. I would trust you with that.
Well, if you trust me, I would like to keep it. I do really like my sword the most, but I'd really like to at least try it out.
I got no objections.
It's yours.
Should we look for something to do target practice?
Cunula, shoot that piece of armor over there!
Hiya!
Whoa!
You aim it, you fire the magistrate as you do. There's a very brief, like, that builds up within it whenever you fire it. When it blasts, you don't see a bullet come out of it. So much you see this, like, compressed bit of demonic energy that when it hits, erupts into a blast of thunder. Specifically, when you shoot a piece of armor, when it hits it, you see a spiderweb of cracks appear on it and explode immediately.
Oh, that's fucking sick!
Oh, that's so cool.
I offer Fionilla a high five.
Oh, absolutely high five back.
Bam!
Alright, let's get moving. And I'll skip forwards.
As you get close to it, you find that once you're about a foot away from the opening, there seems to be this, like, almost staticky film that covers it, like as if a barrier were suspended in front of the doorway that when you get close enough to it, you see is made of almost impossible to see, like hexagons all joined together. But as you get close to it, as if it reacts to a presence, it seems to glow slightly. The edges of the hexagons become clearer. As well, as you move closer, Gino, you notice it first, but you all do catch on to this garbled voice that almost sounds like it's coming from the other side of a wall, coming from inside, that seems to be starting to say the same thing repeatedly. You hear a constant coming from inside, but the sound is like not quite reaching you, and it keeps resetting like a tape player.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's saying
Weird
your
noise.
name.
What?
Seems like you're pretty famous in here.
That's weird. Where's it coming from?
It's going from inside.
Inside?
The other
I guess,
side
I
of
guess
that-
we go then.
Gate.
Unless you have the ability to walk through walls, which honestly would not surprise me. at
It's
this
only,
point. We
no,
should keep
it's
going.
not
He
a-
reaches for his greatsword.
It's not a proper wall.
portal.
It's this, it's like an electric film. Like, you know the barrier in WandaVision? It's like
Oh,
that turned down to
okay.
1% opacity.
If that is the case, then I will walk forward and attempt to push my hand through film.
You go through. As you do, there's a slight staticky feeling whenever you touch it, but your hand passes through it. You notice that once your hand's on the other side, your hand in the tunnel through the barrier looks like it's got like a staticky look to it. Like it's a little bit phased out.
I will step through.
Stepping all the way through, there's no trouble when you do so. There is this moment of like the sound cutting out in your ears. You notice that the hollow wind that came from the tunnel behind you instantly stops, as if that sound cannot reach past it as you move in. And looking forward, you see that it's the same tunnel that you were just in, But you see that along the walls, there's all these like almost mechanical arms that look like they've extended out, and not like literal arms, but like pistons that have extended out from the walls that all are aiming reflective panels that look like solar panels with this honeycomb almost pattern etched into them, reflecting this rainbowy light at where the film is. And you can tell that they are projecting the barrier, quote unquote, that you just stepped through. And they are making it visible.
They don't seem to move or anything whenever I come in?
Nope. There's a slight movement to them as if they like seem to adjust constantly, and they all shine this refracting light into the same place as if they're just adjusting to match each other and keep it consistent, but beyond that, no. Turning to look at the others, presumptively out of the corner of your eye, you do notice you cannot see the others on the other side of it. You can still see the cave outside, but you cannot see the others.
I would like to follow him inside.
Whenever you guys go in, you pass through with no real issue. As soon as you're in, the voice that was coming from inside becomes clear again, and this time it continues onward. You hear just a message, a very robotic voice just saying, "Gino Angelo, it has been 2,000 years since you were deployed, and you require repair in the central workshop. The system is not operating efficiently, as the dimensional anchors are engaged to keep the workshop situated between worlds. No one is present at the anchor's command deck. Please report to the command deck and finalize the workshop's landing, as well as correct its course. Currently, it is engaged between the Lazarus Field, Frost Hell, and Human World. Please anchor it to one, and then seek repairs."
Okay.
Those are a lot of words.
From what
Gino.
I got from that, it seems like you can fix this.
I don't.
It sounds like
That
you're
was-
actually the older brother.
Aw, no fair.
Well,
I will
I
say
don't know what any of this means.
the central what again? What did it say? The central hub
workshop.
workshop.
I said
Apparently
require
there's
repair
no one
at
else
the
in here
workshop.
either.
The Lazarus Field.
Lazarus Field. Gino, you have like this innate sense of what it is. As you think of it, you don't know how you can recall this, but you'd be generally aware that the Lazarus Field is it's effectively an almost purgatory between the human world and the demon world. It's not quite in either. It's effectively like, if we're to use D&D terms, it's its own effectively demi-plane with basically nothing in it that any gates between the two worlds have to bridge their way through. And Nicolo, you would basically know the same. You would have heard it by a couple of different terms, but that's what you recall.
That's weird. Why is that in my head? I know what that means.
Yeah,
You
I don't know.
did at some point. Didn't you say you don't remember anything?
Yeah, I guess.
But from the sound of it, it sounds like you're damaged or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, man.
Aye.
Did you see that shit back there?
Rocket hand beans.
Well, I mean, within the last 2,000 years, you've been damaged or something.
Perhaps that's a good thing.
I agree.
I do not know why this thing is in a piece of it, but nothing settles there. It is a place between places.
Well, it sounds like we should head towards the workshop, or at least the command deck or whatever. Yeah, it said we could anchor it to the human world if we want. What?
We want to anchor this thing in the human world.
Well, to get us back. I don't know.
We're already in, aren't we?
As
I'm
you,
already late for work.
as you turn around, I will note that as you say, like, we already are, aren't we? As you turn around, you notice that where there was once a gate that led outwards, as you turn, the various panels seem to stop and turn off. The reflective light from the honeycomb pattern panels ceases. And the wall behind you, that was once the massive path back into the caves, now becomes just a solid metal sheet that looks like obsidian shutters closed over it.
Well,
You also notice that it's much warmer in here. Having spent a minute in here, you guys find that it's quite toasty.
well, didn't it say that there was nobody left in the workshop or whatever? Yeah, it said no one is
Perhaps-
present.
Perhaps
On the
if we
command
anchor
deck,
it in the
at least.
human world, disconnecting this thing from the Frost Hills, we can stop the permanent winter that's going on.
Seems like a place to go, at least.
Bionula, Gino, can you take the front? I will keep an eye on the back. Arden, can you come with me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would like to drag Arden back to the back of the group
Well, goodbye.
and give like a decent bit of leeway between us.
Oh, just
right.
watch Fiona as she gets further away from me. Say goodbye, friend.
Oh, we're not leaving. We're just behind them. Anyway.
Whenever you pass into a dark area, you find that lights will come to life, usually in response to Gino moving forward, as if emergency lighting is turning on specifically to follow him.
I will drag Arden back a little bit, and as we are walking, I will say under my breath, "What do you make of Gino?"
It's hard to say. Feel like we learned a lot just from that one message that's on the a speaker or whatever. I
He's
feel like
broken in some way.
I agree. If he ever gets repaired, he might become something like that thing that we fought before.
We're on the same wavelength then. I've dealt with similar beasts before once. None of them have ever acted like Gino has. But
I've never, from the work I've done, I've never come across anything like Gino. Plus, I've had these nightmares, and it looks like Gino was similar looking to the thing I saw.
the thing you saw.
Yeah, I basically saw this whole fucking thing happen in my dreams. This, he sort of gestures all around him, just, the things that happen in the human world.
He seems to be the one we need to get this, whatever we are in, from destroying the city, but I worry that once we repair him, or once he connects to this place in any way,
Might actually
have
just
problems.
automatically repair him.
How confident are you that we can stop him?
Well, if he stays at his current strength level, if he gets repaired, I'm pretty confident that all of us combined could probably take him. At
How
least.
confident are you that we can stop Emmanuel?
Emmanuel?
If we try to do anything to Gino, that ring of Emmanuel's
Could potentially be
not.
pretty bad. Hopefully
I want to
he'll...
ask one thing. If something happens with Gino, if he attacks us, can you quickly deal with Emmanuel? And do you think we have a chance against Gino without him?
I think we do. Personally.
Good.
Yeah, I can try and take care of Emmanuel if he ever gets, too
I hope
frisky.
it does not come for that.
Same. For now, he's friendly. But I'd say keep on your guard, but I have a feeling you don't ever let it down.
Thank you
Hmm.
for listening.
No problem.
He will look at Arden, give him a nod, and then slightly increase his pace to get back up to where the others are.
I will say around this time you guys would reach a chamber that looks to be the end of the path. There's a large circular platform in it, at the center of which there are three large triangular pillars that seem to go up. They're not terribly huge. Each one is about as wide as one of you. They go up about 15 feet. Each one has a large indentation on it, on the inside, that is a circular empty space that looks about the size of, like, you could fit a coin in. That would be large enough that would, fit in your hand. One of them, however, is filled in. It appears to, instead of having a coin in there, there just appears to be this reddish copper button that has the design of a demonic face on it.
I sure have an aesthetic down here.
Do you think it was always like this? Like, did it start all demony, or did they move in and alter things to be more like this? Like, was this a choice?
What do you think it could have been before?
No idea. I want to touch the red thing.
Alright.
Oh, God.
As you touch it, you hit it, you press it in, there's this momentary grotesque, almost scraping sound of, ancient rusting metal against stone. You press it in, you hear this blade-on-blade sound as the entire room seems to shift and turn slightly. The circular platform shifts to the side very suddenly. Plumes of dust escape through seams in the floor around you. And then you hear the most pleasant ding, as if elevator doors began to close. And as it does, the platform that you're on start to slowly rise up, and it
Oh.
enters into a circular chamber that exactly fits it and begins to move up in the structure with all of you on it.
There's usually fights on these.
Fucking thinking I'm just gonna, goddamn, it's just gonna be fucking Devil May Cry tropes up and get out of here. An elevator can just be an elevator. As you're going up,
Then all of a sudden, no.
as you're going up, you do notice that every once in a while, with increasing frequency, you pass by what appears to be a large glass section that appears to be a large window that faces outwards. At first, though, as you pass by them, you just see chunks of building, as you can now see out back into the city again. But it appears that whatever you're looking at is still underground. You pass by 8 or 9 of these windows over the next minute or so. The 9th, the 10th, just layers of building and rubble and ice. And then all of a sudden, a blinding light comes from outside as you pass by one, and instead of a city, there's this golden, reddish, just infinite expanse, filled with clouds that look like they're made some kind of vapor in the distance, and what looks like just glaring sunlight filling the horizon. You all have to shield your eyes initially from the contrast. As the next few windows you pass by, you can see the same thing, and your eyes have to adjust. And you can see out into this relatively massive expanse that, Gino, you would recognize from some of the memories that you have, as being where some of the conflict in your memories happened. Looking out and onto it, you guys can also see as your eyes adjust that there's no sun outside. There's just light coming from a direction in this infinite sky that you can see. It seems to be coming from everywhere at once. And looking down and looking through it, you appear to be on an elevator on a structure that looks about the same as one of the Talons you passed by before, that you were in before, which you know you are in. But you see that down below there's a huge, as long as a, like, cruise liner ship, heading out, moving towards this large, central, almost looks like floating city in the middle of the sky. At the middle of which there appears to be this massive obsidian and copper citadel with golden and obsidian buildings. And in the distance you can see 3 other arms, and you can see the shadows of other 3 more Talons that look like the massive structure that you're in on them. Far enough away that it would be miles of travel along this thing. But it's all you can see. No city, no ground, just an infinite sunset bright sky with this floating in the middle of it.
I recognize this.
Yeah?
I
Really?
fought here.
Looking out, Gino, as you step towards the window and you look out into the expanse, you see, first, they're far enough away, they just look like little bits of dust almost from how far away they were, but focusing on them, you see that floating around this area, around these structures that you see outside, there are hundreds of other armors that look like they're broken that are just floating in the sky as if suspended in space, as well as the skeletons and remains of various machines and siege weapons and demons that look like they've been completely dried out and like their flesh has burned away, only leaving the things that time couldn't touch, just floating, as if they had all died engaged in some massive battle.
I fought here once. I don't know when. Probably
You
a
know-
long time ago. But
Do you know who you are fighting?
no.
Is it safe to assume you won?
I mean, he's here, isn't he?
That's why I'm asking.
And he's so strong.
I don't really know. I woke up on a beach somewhere after this. So, maybe not.
Well, if you won, that means you're really strong, yeah? And if you're really, really strong, I'm happy you're with us.
He looks over at you. Just gives a slight nod.
He's giving you a big gremlin-y smile.
I think this might be the place I've been looking for.
Well, then let's find out what it is, yeah?
Yeah.
As you say that, as you pass by the next window, you all find yourself suddenly freezing as the next window that goes by, you can see the city again. You can see Carpenter City, just a constant blizzard. You can make out buildings. You find you're about 200 feet above the ground as the next series of windows seems to show you just back where you came from. And as soon as the light from the city pours back in, the room freezes again instantly like it was down in the caves.
Can I see my car?
You cannot see your... Well, roll me perception. I'll be a nice boy. Roll me perception. Let's see if you can see your car. You can vaguely make out the district where you came from. You see that a lot of it has been upheaved. In the distance, almost against all odds, you can see sitting just on the edge of a large spike of road that has been upturned. You see your car loosely hanging, teetering over an edge. And as you look at it, you get closer to it, you just find yourself going, no, 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 no. As you see it just slowly teeter down, and it falls down into a pit.
Dios, Nicolo, what's wrong?
Arrivederci.
The next window is debris and city again, as if you were back underground. And then the next one, once again, the infinite expanse in the sky. Another one of the sky, another one of the sky, then underground, then the city, and it seemed to just change randomly, as if your location in the elevator was shifting every time you passed a window.
Does this seem sort of par for the course for the same thing when I got here? Like when the town...
You don't remember going through an elevator like this.
Okay.
You remember passing through something like the gate whenever you came in, but you do not remember really going inside the structure or exploring. Your memory goes as far as seeing the outside of the town, seeing a similar gate, though through it you could see the city. You could see the human world through it rather than the inside of the town, and you went into it. And you don't know if you have a lapse in memory or if you just went straight to the human world, but you recall the next thing that happened to you was leaving the structure that I've been referring to as a Talon, leaving it and entering into the human world immediately without ever going inside. As far as you knew, the whole thing was just one big portal.
You think the expanse of nothingness is the Lazarus field or whatever?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Never seen it, so...
Weird. All right, then.
Tapping his foot, waiting for the elevator to stop.
As you guys start tapping, you guys hear a creaking sound from coming up above you, and then what sounds like something large detaching, letting out this echoing sound as if an elevator that was above this one had let out, and like as if the cables holding it had snapped. And from the massive pit that's up above you, you hear this increasing sound.
Uh-oh.
As very suddenly the entire elevator rocks as something collides in with the center of it. And you see this massive golden figure land, superhero style, and slowly rise up.
Oh, fuck.
Rise up.
Because we are on an elevator in DMC.
I fucking told you!
Holy fuck, I didn't know this was a common occurrence here!
Neither did I, to be fair.
As you guys see a massive robotic figure land and then stand up, standing twice as tall as any of you within the center of the area, its eyes scanning over the lot of you. You see chunks of its armor appear to have rusted and broken off. As it moves and as it stands, it seems to settle, and when it does, gouts of steam escape vents on its body as if it's adjusting itself.
Is there another elevator map that has an A and B button on the ground?
No.
Really got him.
All right. As this happens and as you guys all go up and you see this thing land, Fiona, you're the only one that really can retain sight of it, because just as it looks like it's about to start moving and attack, you guys pass through a series where all you can see is the debris outside, and for all intents and purposes, the lighting conditions within the elevator go completely black.
Uh-oh.
The only thing that you guys can see are really the faint little bits of bluish light coming from outside between the bits of debris. But for this round, everyone that does not have dark sight will be considered blinded.
If you had a
I'm
torch or
carrying
something.
around a lamp.
That'll work.
Yeah, that'll do.
Reaches into cleavage, pulls out oil lantern.
But yeah, so are you using your interaction to take out a flashlight and point it at it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd say that for the purposes of targeting it, you guys would not be blinded.
Hey!
Woo! Hell yeah.
Now you can beat it up with your words.
This is very much a horror movie sort of issue of as you turn it on and aim it at it, you can see its hulking form like moving towards you, the light reflecting off its armor and scattering into different areas.
I guess we will use vicious mockery where it's like, now I understand why you wanted it to be dark. You're hideous.
He didn't like that.
Hooray, you're beating it up with your words.
As you say that, though it fails, and you can give it disadvantage on its attack, it doesn't seem physically affected by it.
Oh.
Emmanuel?
Think everyone's probably safe if I do it here.
And my ring.
Love that you're like, I'm not even a sorcerer. You're just a kid with a gun and a ring of wonder. That's all you need.
He doesn't even have
You
class
don't even
levels,
you don't even
he's
have a
just-
class. You just have a ring of wonder, and that's your character. So as the cat leaps out and flings itself past it. Magical energy builds up on the arcane cat that follows you, and it goes over to the area. It twists and its form contorts in a spectral manner into a ball, which strikes the ground, and poof, there is a deer in the elevator.
Oh!
The deer looks like it was grazing. It slowly turns, looks up, looks over at the golem, and
Oh,
then
nice! You summoned a deer! Have it fight that thing!
Get him, dear.
Well, good to know we have food after all this is over.
¿Sabes cómo cocinar bien now?
So, I'm gonna boop to here, and then to here,
I'm gonna pet the deer.
and
Kick its ass!
that's the plan! And I'm going to shoot it with Magistrate, but I'm going to spend a style point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to use one of its features.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'd like to use Deliverance. And beep!
Deliverance, you load it. It glows slightly. The wings of the angelic bust on the top of it fan out slightly, as if it's like getting more ready to fire in a more aerodynamic fashion.
Hey, big guy, stop hitting my friends, please!
You hit it, it took most of that damage. It resisted a small bit of it down, but as you hit it, the bullet causes the armor on it to crack somewhat, and it recoils back from it, and you can tell that did quite a bit of damage to it. It felt that.
So I'd like to Dragon Surge and do it again.
Hell yeah!
You Dragon Surge. Go ahead and spend the style points.
Beep.
You fire it. Oh, 21 damage! Reduced down somewhat. By the way, gain a style point, because the 10 was a maximum roll.
Yay!
But you hit it. When you do, a chunk of its shoulder gets blasted off and splinters around into the area. It looks like it was going to go for the others. As you do that, it stops. You see its torso shift and move over towards you, and it looks like it's now paying attention to you, more so than the larger group over there.
Hello, sir!
So it goes before Arden. It is going to turn, and it is going to move over towards you.
That's very fair.
Its arm comes around, it pulls itself very suddenly around there, its fist swinging around, using the momentum of it coming around this pillar. It's going to try to hit you.
Gonula.
So on the first one, it misses. It swings around, and its fist slams into the ground as you jump away from it, but it very quickly rushes up and goes for another attack on you, and this one...
Thinking about that diss.
This one hits.
Ow!
Swings up towards you, dealing 8 damage as it strikes you, but as it strikes you, it also opens its hand and clasps it around your shoulders and your neck. You are now grappled by it.
Fionula!
Hi, sir!
And it begins seemingly like trying to lift you up into the air. The entirety of the elevator briefly stalls. It seems to get stuck very briefly and causes the entire thing to shudder. I'm going to roll a dexterity save against everybody, as everyone has to try to keep their balance, including the deer!
Oh no.
Not the deer.
The deer succeeds!
Yay!
The only people that fail, weirdly enough, are the golem and Fionula. So you both take 6 damage as it rolls maximum. The universe gains a style point, and as that happens, both Fionula and it fall prone. I'm gonna say that breaks its grapple on Fionula. With that one, the elevator stalls for a second and creaks. It seems to go off center for a second and then re-levels and then keeps going up. The deer,
Fuck him up.
in a panic, is going to attempt to bite Arden.
Don't make me do this, dear!
It rolls a 20.
Noah, what are you doing?
It's not a nat 20, but it's a 20.
Okay.
Someone shoot the deer!
It rushes up to you, and having nothing else to do, it tries to bite you, Arden. It deals 1 damage. As you get this compliment from Marile, and then just from off screen from the side, the deer just comes in and just bites your earlobe.
Fuck! That wasn't the person you wanted to bite your earlobe from that comment.
Niccolo, Gino, you're on deck.
I heard you're the potato daddy.
Not actually made of potatoes, you weird deer! I'm gonna eat this deer out the window.
Having a deer is a lot of responsibility, Emmanuel.
I go for first attack. Hiya.
Yep.
You
Ooh!
I mean, I don't gain anything, but
You gain a style point.
Then I will go to my offhand, which is not, anything anymore because I have 2-weapon fighting, and I'm gonna go for another attack.
And you continue to be on fire. You maintain Hunter's Mark, but you take 5 more points of fire damage.
That's perfectly fine. Hiya.
You deal 5 more damage to it.
No.
It doesn't look great, just so you know. The whole thing looks like it's not doing very well as you hit it. One of its arms, you can see the circuitry and whatnot, and the mechanics inside of it get exposed. It's like stalls. Its arm starts making the same repetitive motion as it seems to try to fix itself and realign itself. Oh no!
Inflict wounds.
Slap!
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
Inflict wounds.
What are you doing to it?
I'm gonna cast inflict wounds as a melee spell because he's prone.
Sorcerers get it? Oh, that's
he
part of your... It's
does.
witchcraft. Yeah.
Witches do! That's a hit.
Oh.
You take 1 fire damage. You put your hand up against it. There's a brief moment of sizzling. You're like, ah! And then a moments later, it detonates. How do you want to do this?
I just run up and full palm slap it right on the face, and as it sears my hand and I pull it away, there's just like a ripple of necrotic energy as its head just slowly enlarges under the molten energy of its own body, and then it erupts.
Hey, you did it!
Way to go, little dude! He's gonna go try to give him a high five.
Have this hand, ha! This one.
Emmanuel, if you didn't already, go ahead and gain a style point because it was definitely above your CR.
Is this deer still attacking
Yes,
me?
the deer is still in combat.
It
let's fucking
doesn't
kill this
summon
deer.
and despawn. It's just here now.
Let's kill this deer.
I'm going to stand up. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to
As
take
you
my
lunge towards it, it
katana.
turns towards you, its eyes open wide. You see the large, glassy, dough-like eyes of the deer staring into yours.
I'm going to attempt to decapitate it with my katana.
Oh my god.
Roll
I'm
it.
going to put a style point into
Oh.
this.
Do it. Roll an attack.
Poor Canella.
You
Bit.
cut it.
Deer is
You
still
slice
alive.
the deer, you try to decapitate it, your blade gets lodged into the side of it, and it just has a moment, then it just reels back, and you just hear as the deer just cries out in pain.
I thought it was a demon or something.
How we?
No, it's just a regular deer!
Oh no!
We don't
That's
know.
a miss.
Oh my god!
This is the most powerful deer I've ever come across.
This fucking deer, dude!
You go to attack it as it's moving, the blade embedded in its shoulder, it is bucking wildly around, and you can't seem to aim your weapon. You strike at it, it's shifting uncontrollably, and you just can't seem to hit it.
Dear God! It's a deer god!
Top of the round, mission goes. As the city passes by, the light and sudden atmospheric change of being exposed to the city window is going to cause everyone to take 1d6 cold damage. The deer freezes to death. The deer
Good. We now
stops,
have a preserved meat.
breathes out a little gout of like steamy breath, and then it looks like it goes to fall, and then you just hear as it just seems to freeze in place.
Oh,
Monster.
going for a hug. It's like, you're no monster.
Oh, hug him.
No.
You're not
Technically,
a
it was
monster.
the cold that killed him. You're not a monster.
Exactly. You may have just maimed it a little, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's just like the saddest part of the 2005 fantasy adventure, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, directed by Andrew Adamson.
At about this time, you guys see an end to the elevator shaft above you. It finally settles up into a chamber that and locks into place with a very large ka-chunk whenever it finally settles. When it does, you guys see just darkness surrounding the elevator, and then lights begin coming on. And you see 3 different paths that extend out beyond you. You see up above you the elevator shaft does continue, but it looks like there is a large, effectively, blast gate that is sealed over the tubing above you. and you just see lights turning on, going down these pathways that lead out into darkness. These three, once again to reinforce that, 3 different tunnels that lead in different directions in this large circular room. There's a moment of silence, and then you hear coming from the same one of the pedestals, one of the pillars where the coin that you touched to activate the elevator had been embedded, you hear a, "Hey! Is someone... that thing on? Hey!"
Can you hear us?
Who are you?
You gotta say over.
Anyone in there?
Over.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
you can't hear
It
us.
turned on, right?
This is coming from speakers like in the elevator.
You can kind of hear it coming from the pillar that you had pressed before. There's no evident speakers on it, but the sound just seems to be coming out of the structure itself. You press it. Well, whenever you press it, it doesn't do anything. There's a kind of like upheaval as if the elevator tries to keep going up, but then it stops itself and settles back down. I saw a spike up there. Somebody trying to use that thing. Ah, well. Whoever it is probably gonna get themselves killed. Workshop's dangerous anyways.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, I'll also know, whenever you push the button for the time you had it pushed, the sound cut out.
Oh.
Push it. Hello?
Oh, hey! So there is a criminal alive up there. Hey, so you just like trying to steal what's going on up there anyways?
What? Over?
You from outside? Or did you start in there?
Outside.
Alright. Well, if you want to get out of there, you got 2 options, basically. You can either wait and hope somebody else fixes the problem for you, or you can get up to the top and you can push the buttons and make that thing anchor. If you want to see your city go back to the way it was, go ahead and get up to the command deck and anchor that thing. I'll explain everything afterwards.
Where we anchor it?
Wherever you want to come out. You can take it
ask
to
him
the
which
demon
path.
world if you want. Doesn't matter to me much.
Ask him which path we have to take.
Where do we go? Left, right, or not left or right?
Up.
Elevator's broken.
The fuck do you mean the elevator's broken?
We got 3 paths behind us.
Which
and
of you Nimrods broke the elevator?
Probably the deer.
Wasn't me.
What?
There was a deer. He's an icicle now. I named him Dennis. I knew him for 12 whole seconds.
Okay, I don't know exactly what's going on up there, but wherever you are, there's safety systems in the entire tower that help you to move forward in it. If something's broken, then fix it.
Just reaches over and presses the thing. What do we need to fix it? And then let's go.
Describe what's around you.
There are 4 triangular pillars surrounding a circular room. On the outside, there is a pathway with 3 different paths heading out.
Oh, shit. There should be a bunch of, like, medallions you need to get. The guy that built that place loved puzzles, what can I tell you?
Have you seen the 2001 movie The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring?
The one with Orlando Bloom?
Over.
The reception's kind of bad, but I mean, sure. Yeah, you guys go do that, and I'm just gonna chill out. You make it out of there, we can talk again. If you get to the command deck, I should be able to talk to you more clearly.
Thank you for
All
your
right.
assistance.
So, there's 1, 2, 3. We go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that one, and I'm gonna start walking left.
Eventually, you guys come into a large room. It's about 40-ish, 50-ish feet across. Lots of open room. You see there are various lights up above. The ceiling, which is about 15 feet up, there's various like strobing lights moving across it that are leaving these red, amber, and white lights, these like spotlights that are moving around and crossing over each other and moving about the room. On each of the sides of the rooms, there appears to be a large, like one very large chain that is pulled taut against the walls as if it was like reinforcing the walls or holding them back. And there are these grooves in which you see what appear to be these long, rectangular, sealed, slightly embossed doorways, effectively, that don't have any handles or anything on them. They are copper and inlaid into the walls. In the center of the room, you guys see there are what look like 3 very small pillars that come up to about chest height on most of you, so over Emmanuel's head. 2 of them, all 3 of them have these glass canisters that are on top of them, and 2 of them, they are shattered, and whatever was in them appears to be gone, but there's one in the middle in which you can see suspended 2 objects. One is what looks like a set of goggles that is just floating, the strap just wavering in the air, and the other one is a medallion that appears to also just be lightly floating in the air. There's nothing else going past this area. It is illuminated well enough that you all can see properly within it.
Well, that's a medallion.
Whenever you walk up to it and you touch it, you find that the glass canister it's in, which it comes up very much like in Beauty and the Beast, the dome the rose was in, it like goes up and forms a dome up around it.
The man before said that this place, whoever made it, enjoyed their puzzles. So we can assume that as soon as we take whatever this is, something's going to happen in this room. Is everyone ready?
Well, we can't take it. There's a glass dome around it, right?
Well...
Just like motions to,
I
motions to Gino.
I pull out my great sword.
Well, hold on.
if he could be giving you like the eyebrow wiggle thing, like he's giving it, like
Give it just a second there. Well, I don't see any like triggering mechanisms in these guys, so go ahead, smash away, I guess.
all right, here we go. We'll fucking hit it.
You swing your weapon and you strike the case. As you do, there's this reverberating clatter as if you'd struck a gong, and your sword vibrates like in your hand as it pulls back, the glass unbroken. As it does, you see the lights that are up above you guys begin all flashing sporadically, almost dangerously at first, as if they're alarming something, and then they all seem to stop, go out at once, and only one color flashes, then turns off. Then one color flashes, and then turns off. And they start flashing and turning on in such a way that it does legitimately start to look like it's strangely a dance club. Like, you get the impression that there's almost a beat that they're going to, until finally they all turn off. And then several of them turn on, but aimed at two of the alcoves on the wall. Then they turn off. Then more turn on, aimed at the alcoves on the other side. Then they turn off. And then finally, two turn on and point at the remaining two alcoves. And then they all light up. And then you see the doors get ripped off and kicked open from the inside, and you start to hear the scraping of metal as the lights begin flashing above you, as you see what look like 6 metallic skeletal figures begin pulling themselves out of what amount to coffins in the walls.
Oh, fuck.
A smooth criminal.
Oh, fuck. Skeletons.
Let me go.
Oh.
Being held by Marile, but also breaking down.
This is like that one movie where the kid defends the pretty lady. Oh, is it Terminator?
This is like Terminator.
Yes, that one.
As the lights flash, you notice the skeletons all have slightly different features to them. You notice that one of their hands, they appear to be carrying what looks like a sword, but it has almost a straight razor-esque look to it. And their other arm, rather than look like any kind of like conventional bow or whatnot, they seem to have a hook shot for a left arm. You guys see everything flashing as you go to fight them, and as they pop out, the eerie whitish light that almost has a more gray-like tinge to it is the only one that turns on and begins like following, spotlighting every single person in the room. Gino Angelo, you're up first.
Okay. So I guess I'll go up to this boy and start a swinging.
You rush up and you strike him, and as you do, you find your weapon doesn't really find much purchase. Like, you do deal damage, but it's surprisingly resistant. And when you look at it and you strike into it, you actually see your weapon, after it collides with it, like an unseen force is pushing back against it and like pushes it off of it that prevented your weapon from fully striking into them.
Does it seem like it was something the skeleton was doing, or something between me and the skeleton, or like a barrier? Or...
No way to tell that.
Okie dokie. Guess I'll, fuck it. It's 5-minute rest. I wanna do the thing.
Alright, you action search.
Hiya.
That hits.
Hiya.
Again, when you strike it, your weapon doesn't seem to do much damage. A skeleton 6 is going to go because he rolled rather well on his initiative. He is going to step forward, and as he does, he is going to aim his hook shot out at Nicolo, and he's going to fire it at him.
I was hoping he'd start dancing. Then we could have a dance battle.
He fires it at you. He manages to hit with you. Nicolo, you hear the sound of almost a gunshot as a hook shot fires at you, strikes into you, and binds into you. You take 6 damage, and you roll a nat 1 on your concentration save, and you lose Hunter's Mark. As this happens, as it hits you, little spikes on it emerge and try to dig into you and start pulling at you, and I'm going to roll a strength save against you. You are knocked prone, you are pulled 15 feet towards it, you are dragged along the ground over towards it, and because it did that, it flips the razor upside down and it's going to try to strike into you with it and stab into you as you pass by it. You take another 5 damage as it strikes into you.
Oi, Nico! Don't fucking die!
I'll get right on that.
Go on, Nicola, don't fucking die
It takes
now.
a step out and it's going to fire.
Please attack him.
It takes a step out, it is going to. It fires at Arden. It fires and you dodge to the side of it.
Fuck off!
It is then going to run at you and it's going
Wait.
to make an attack against
He
you.
enters my attack range.
Go ahead, do it.
What the fuck? I didn't have any fucking style points to begin with, so it's fine.
You like attack it. It leaps over your glaive and just like swan dives at you through the air with its large box cutter like weapon soaring towards you. There's just a slow motion moment of like, oh shit! As this
Oh, fuck!
it hits.
Fuck!
It strikes you, deals maximum damage. You take 8. For the purposes of what we're doing, it ends up on the other side of you as it cuts you and hurtles past you. Emmanuel?
I move forward, I clasp my hands together, and a ball of energy appears, and I'm gonna yeet it at Skeleton 2. It is gonna be fire damage.
Alrighty, so make sure to add that to your modifier window, then roll the other damage as you use Chaos Bolt. You create a ball of nebulous energy and you fire it.
If I hit or not, let's try
Yeah,
that.
that's fair. That hits.
Modifier and fire.
That one takes the damage and actually kind of recoils as if it was brittle, as if it was kind of afraid of it.
I'll protect you, Marley.
Okay.
Help.
Do I shoot or do I stab? Well, I feel like stabbing shit right now.
It's a stabbing kind of hour.
I'm feeling a little stabby. I'm gonna get all up on him, get all up in his face, and be like, "What up, my boy?" And I'm gonna stab him in the ribs, or try to.
You hit.
Yay!
Gonna
And
rib him.
beep.
You hit. It does not resist your damage.
Oh, awesome. Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet my sword too. And that's me. That's what I got going on.
Your damage.
Number 4 is going to step out, and this is going to be hilarious if it happens. It is going to hook shot Nicolo.
Fuck!
It got a crit.
Oh my god!
Wait.
It fires at Nicolo, dealing 10 damage.
Here I
You
go.
need to make a strength save. You get a crit on.
I'm pulling to me.
Sure.
Get over here. I like catch it and go and like wrap it around my arm and just pull it over.
Gain two
I'm not stuck
style.
in here with you.
Gain 2
You're
style
stuck in here
points.
with
You grab it. You pull him as he flies at you. The other arm with the sword raises as it's hurtling through the air at you. There's another. Oh. As it swings it at you. But it'll be a regular attack. It hits.
Nicolo and
Go.
Arden are on the same page about a lot of
You
things.
you took minimum damage, but it was still enough. You lose all your style points as well, having gone down.
Well, I'm gonna go save my boy toy again. How stupid is the bard now that she sees her boy toy about to die again? Very. The answer is very. So then we are going to... Where is my gun? We're going to pew pew.
You shoot at it, it hits it. The bullet, as it collides with it, it strikes it and, like, causes the damage. You see part of it get chunked away. Then you see the strangest side of the bullet continuing to try to move forward, actually get, like, pushed back and lose its momentum, and then fall to the ground.
Then with that, we are going to use our bonus to heal Nicolo. That's me.
Skeleton number 2 is going to take a step out here, and he's going to take a step up to here, and he is going to try to hookshot Arden.
Nicolo.
He fires at you, the hookshot strikes into you, you take... They are max damaging way more than I have any right to. 8 damage is what you take.
Yep.
So it tries to hit you, you manage to succeed and you do not get pulled by it. It then is just going to rush at you and is going to take a normal attack against you since it's not going to get advantage because it couldn't knock you down. So he gets struck. You guys see, very much like Dante getting shot in the head, the skeleton leaps at Arden and takes the box cutter and strikes it into him. It goes into his chest, just below his neck, and straight out the other side of him. And it holds there for a second. And Arden looks like it should have been a fatal wound for a moment, but he just kind of continues operating. The blade piercing straight through his neck continues to move normally.
Ah, it fucking hurts! Ah!
The skeleton.
That's rude.
The skeleton then rips it out of your neck, which, hybrid endurance aside, stings like a motherfucker whenever he does.
You got blood all over me clothes, you fucking jackass!
You guys see that the wound through his neck heals pretty much instantly. To anyone who saw that, who may have not had any inclination to believe so otherwise, you would definitely be aware that Arden just survived something a human should not be able to. That said,
don't worry about it.
It's your turn, Arden.
don't
Shit!
Don't worry about it. What? No? Nothing I can really do except attack. I'll get him. I'm gonna get this boy in front of me.
You strike it. That one resists the damage.
Did there appear to be any changes like on the pedestals or anywhere in the room that like flickered on to give these guys, you know, like their resistances or whatever?
Nothing at the moment, unless you'd like to, on your turn, use like a perception check to pay attention to something really specific, in which case I could tell you. But apart from the white light turning on, nothing else huge.
Are there like the lights that are on? Do they have like some? Are they like spotlighting on the skeletons or something?
There is a light following every one of you, as well as some that are flashing on and off randomly, but there is at least a spotlight following every person in the room, including the skeletons. So, as that one happens, all of the lights begin sporadically flashing. They all begin flashing random colors. It very much seems like a raven here now at this point. As they do, in response to them flashing, all the skeletons like reel back and screech at once, as if enraged by the flashing lights. Gino, it's your turn first, before any of them.
I'm going to heckin' Yeetus Vanitas on right the fuck over here.
As you do, that one's going to attack you.
That is fine.
Alrighty, he is going to go for a short sword attack on you, swinging with reckless abandon. He hits. He swings at you. You take minimum damage. You take 3.
Cool. And then I'm gonna swing at Skeleton 2 right here.
Get him, big guy. I
Hiya!
believe in you.
Well, you shouldn't have.
That's a hit.
Okay, you should have. It was
see?
well placed.
You should have.
When you hit it, it gets broken. It seems like whatever force was protecting them is currently not present. When you hit it, it almost seems brittle. You break it, bits of it crumble into dust. Apropos of very little, it is destroyed.
That's more like it.
And I will note that previously, that was one of the ones that was not getting protection from whatever was happening. However, when you hit it just now, not only did it seem like you were not pushed away, your weapon felt kind of magnetized to it. The one that's by you, he takes a step back.
Gino, get him.
I'ma get him.
I guess you can try to get him.
Alrighty.
It leaps back as it aims its hook shot at you, like in the air, as just a great sword enters frame coming at it. Yeah, it gets hit. You hit it. It spins in the air and goes head over heels and does a full 360-degree rotation. But as it comes back up, it like you see its non-eyes lock on you, Arden, and you see the hook shot raise up at you
Stay
again.
away from me, you fucking asshole!
It fires at
Stay
you.
away from me!
It misses.
Okay.
It then hits the ground and lunges at you again.
I've done nothing to you!
You dodge that one. It then gets one more attack. They're all getting point of interest. They're all getting one more attack than they did last round.
Oh.
I noticed.
Goes for another swing. Misses.
Oh. Guy sucks.
This guy sucks.
Okay, round 2. Yeah, I'm gonna throw another orb of energy. This time up at Skeleton 6.
I'd say it would have cover with all the stuff you're firing it through. Boom! Okay, which one do you want?
Element 1, thunder.
You throw it, it hits it, it is, It takes the damage, and it is blasted back and reduced to nothing. So the one that was just destroyed and the one that you destroyed previously both had, like, armor that looked like it had, like, amber highlights on it and rust-like coloration. The one that was destroyed initially, it looked like it had an iron look to it. The bones themselves on these things look like they're made of some kind of reflective silver, so the contrasts are, like, against that. You almost feel like you're fighting skeletons made out of mirror material.
What's the solution to the puzzle? Beat my face into
Beat them up! The puzzle prevents them from taking full damage, so they take some damage then. That one, whenever you break it, you notice that one has smudges and scarring across its body that look like it was smeared with blood. Alright, Fionnuala, this is your fight.
Kick
Have
its
you
ass!
heard of the 5,000 box office smash hit Chronicles of Narnia Kaboom Man?
Oh, this is the parties thing now.
You hit. It takes 9 damage.
I haven't heard of it either, to be fair, and that's me.
We're gonna pew pew the skeleton Mambo skeleton number 5 over here.
Alright. You fire at it, it is dead. Cool. With one left, there's literally not enough data for you guys to figure out what's going on. So, let's just keep going!
Bludgeoning!
Bash our faces in.
Knowledge? Nay, brute force.
You also got...
I thought they said this was a puzzle.
You also got weirdly lucky with the flashing lights, but I'll explain it later if you guys are interested. It's fucking whatever. So Marla, you aim your gun, you fire, it hits it, it detonates, and its pieces scatter to the ground like a broken mirror.
I'm gonna run over here.
Hi, Arden!
Hi! Die!
Do it! Fuck him up!
That's it.
Yay!
I can't imagine it surviving this. It is dead.
Hell
As you
yeah!
strike it, that one also looked like it was wearing armor that was like covered in an iron-like material. As you do, and as you break it, there's this reddish barrier that becomes visible around the glass canister, and all the lights suddenly flash and begin focusing in on the light on the canister itself, as if they're all intensely spotlighting it. The canister glows, the reddish barrier shatters and disappears, and you see the glass remain unprotected, and all the lights turn off, suddenly leaving the room in complete darkness, and then the ambient lighting comes back on, and it is visible in the regular way in the room now. And I will happily explain what that puzzle was afterwards, but it doesn't matter. The lights could all flash one of 3 colors: amber, iron, or white basically, or red. Every turn it would have done a random one, and whichever one corresponds with the light, those ones' AC went down by 5, and all the other ones were resistant to damage. And when they were flashing, everybody was vulnerable to damage, everybody got an extra attack, and everybody lost the AC. So the flashing lights was basically the everybody go
Is that why I
ahead.
lost a fuck ton of hit points?
You weren't vulnerable. Only the skeletons were affected by these things.
Oh, okay. They were just hitting.
They
me
were
a
just
lot.
critting
Okay,
on you
cool.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
But no, because they went flashed second time, I was like, cool, so that's the data collecting period ended, because they're all just going to die now. That was very much, because you guys went in such a way that you kept killing the next one that would have gone, so I was like, cool, alright, so there's all right, neat, cool, okay, so 4 more to, alright, well there's 1 left, okay, it's dead.
We accidentally did the whole thing.
You did!
We solved your puzzle.
Solved the light puzzle.
You did it, you solved my skeleton puzzle.
Look,
Yeah,
mommy,
right.
we did it.
Alright, I guess it's
Is
smashing
it the
time.
recipe?
It's smashing time.
Roll me an attack.
Hey, yo.
You walk up, you strike it, and it is, you break it. As you do, the medallion and the goggles stop floating. Whatever was keeping them suspended dissipates as soon as the glass is broken.
Cool.
Alright, cool. Grab them.
Who wants the goggles in their inventory?
I will take them from his hands.
All right,
Unless
Nicola,
somebody else says something, because I was waiting for someone to say something.
Nah, you're good.
you take them. By the grace of the kind of game we're playing, I'm just going to have them identified immediately for you. They are goggles of night.
There was nothing else in the case?
Nope,
Just the goggles?
just those.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I wander over to Fionnuala. Ah, you alright?
I'm totally fine. You look like shit, though.
Oh, no, what? No, I'm...
You're covered in blood, and what happened? You got stabbed in the neck.
That's... Do you see a wound there now? There's no wound there now.
You got stabbed.
I'm
Arden,
gonna walk
you need
over
be
to
more careful.
Emmanuel.
I'm fine.
Yeah, no, you're not.
It's... Listen, I'm in a lot of pain, actually. I'm too tired to keep this up.
I'm gonna like try to like kind of guide him down to the floor and make him sit.
I'm gonna put
Alright,
the goggles on Emmanuel.
Sit.
Ow.
Over his glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Does a knife wound through neck totally okay now remind me of what I know this to be? Of demons?
You would know that a normal human couldn't survive that, so he's probably got some demon on him. You've heard of...
So you're like a demon or what?
Sort of.
Cool.
You have to see to use that thing of yours, right?
Yeah.
Puts them over his glasses and then walks away.
I can't see. The lighted burns.
Just take them off, Manny.
I can't. I'm being held by Marilyn.
I'm not holding you that tight. I'm not holding you that tight.
She's so
now, am I?
strong. She's like a titan, but a lady.
Oh, fine. Let's go.
Do we need
Okay.
to take a breather?
I'd like to do that, yeah.
Yeah, stay sitting
Sure.
down.
I'd like to stay here for an hour.
I'm not in any rush.
You guys take an hour to take a breather. Your player presses pause. He goes and makes a sandwich. It takes care of some calls. Comes back.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
By the way, thanks for saving me, my héroe.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
You can redeem one lap dance.
I'll keep that in mind, I
The
guess.
liquor is not free.
Well, Alright, that sounds awful.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you're lucky he was around. Otherwise, you might have died.
God, those things are a pain in the arse.
Yeah. But I feel like we dealt with worse.
If we assume the other medallions are going to be guarded similarly, then we need to be open for any other puzzles that may come up. Whether
There's a
they be the
puzzle in
same
here?
or...
Wait,
Apparently.
puzzle. We
I
weren't
had
just
assumed
supposed
it
to
was
beat him
something
up.
to do with the lights, but I didn't really get a good grasp on it until
I was
the
not
end.
having the best time to look around at it. I was hoping we could just brute force it, and we did.
Maybe we can brute force all the other ones, seeing as we did so good the first time.
Yeah, we all did great.
So, I guess we should get it moving then.
Get moving, stay, whatever.
By the way, Nicolo, that is 2.
You're not
You
going
owe
to say
me?
I owe you 2 lap dances, are you?
You never accept them.
I was talking about since...
Oh, you're offering me a lap dance.
It was a joke, Amalile!
Oh my god.
I don't know, it's quite tempting.
Nah, he's gonna
Too bad
leave.
you don't know how to use your hips worth a damn.
Oh fuck.
What kind of dance is this?
The best kind.
Spanish one, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very, very nice. I'm sure Arden would really appreciate it.
I can teach you, Fianula.
You should do it.
Just blank face.
Beep.
Beep.
Maybe. Talk about it later.
Just this gremlin grin.
She's like, that's not a no.
You guys make your way back to the central chamber where the 4 pillars are, each with 3 of them still with empty indentations. What would you guys like to do from here?
Wanna
Number
just go?
2!
Number 2.
Yeah, let's go.
As you guys turn and you begin heading towards the second chamber, it may be anticlimactic, but I would like to stop there.
We did it.
We talked about lap dances. What do you mean anticlimactic?
Yeah, man.